Jay-Z, and this is what we told y'all before. You know, everyone thought like, oh, she wants Jay-Z to manage her so bad. It's not what it was about. Puffy used to manage her. She's had a lot of managers. She's been blackballed because she felt, as she spoke out about, the fact she felt played, based on what happened with the Tidal deal. Jay-Z had a lot of artists sign up for Tidal, from Kanye to everybody else, and they felt they got screwed over when they did this deal. Not only was their music exclusively on Tidal for a while, it became even more of a greater problem once Jay-Z sold the company in 2021 and Nicki felt she got a $1 million payout for her partnership role in her stake into the company. And she thinks she should get at least 100 to 200 million. You're not getting that money. One, you'll never get that money. Two, Jay, these people would put your lights out before they would let something like that happen. The worst thing that can happen to Nicki Minaj is they say, a judge says, Nicki, you're awarded that money. That's the worst news you could get. Because you would never collect. Now, yes, absolute lies. Well, let's look at the scales. Let's look at the scales. Because I want people to understand what it is that we actually do here. You see, when all the artists came together, they were promised, right, certain positions and certain amount of money. When they had all those artists line up to have their money and they were going to be part of the streaming service and they were going to be in control, here's the thing. And here was the big problem that Nicki Minaj don't seem to understand why she feels she's deserving to 100 and 200 million. It's not to talk against Nicki Minaj. It's just that she doesn't understand the business. And it's obvious that she's going off the percentage that she thought she's owed, that I've gotten this many streams, I should have been paid X, Y, and Z. Here's the part that Nicki Minaj doesn't seem to understand. Nicki Minaj, let me explain something to you. And for the people that don't get it. What Nicki doesn't understand, and she should, is Nicki Minaj does not own her catalog. So yes, you might have a percentage in play. You might have a percentage that look a certain way. But, and what I mean by but, here's the parameters that are set around said projects. So I want to be really clear about this. If you don't have ownership of the intellectual property, whatever percentage that you're supposed to get paid, that's how much they're going to pay you. You don't own your catalog. So the record companies that you're signed to, from Cash Money, Universal, they're going to be getting the lion's shares of the money. Young Money. You're paying 3 record companies, Nicki. 3 record companies got to eat before you get a dime. So your cut out of all of that was like $1 million. So you're never going to get no $100 and $200 million. That's a dream. You don't own your catalog. Yeah, I saw that Jid and Eminem, and I was just like, boy, I tell you, Eminem would do anything to stay relevant. I remember when Eminem said he was going to retire at 30. Now he's 52. Just goes to show you things people say when they're younger. Me and Royce being cool ain't got nothing to do with Eminem. I don't have a beef with Eminem. It's just that's just what he is right now. No. I see it a lot different. Kanye didn't get his money. Why? Kanye still don't own his catalog. Jay-Z owns it. Def Jam owns it. They get a piece of Kanye's catalog. Why do you think Kanye changed his name to Ye? So he could rebrand himself and then put out the music that he wants to put out in the fashion and the way that he wants to present it. Now, what usually happens in that scenario? All of his hits are made already. College Dropout, his late registration, graduation. They don't need Kanye to make no new music. They got all that backlog. My Dark Fantasy, 808s. You've already made legacies for them. That catalog there is worth about $1 billion. Right now, $1 billion. They ain't gonna need your permission. They can eat off your catalog forever. Now, here's the thing. Once you're a certain age, all of it's supposed to revert back to you anyway. That's supposed to revert all the way back to you. Well, record companies are coming up with a new way to stop that. You see, when you're white, they found a way to make it right. Taylor Swift was able to get back her original masters from Scooter Braun, who bought it out of spite and owned her old catalog. She went and remade all her songs, redid them, and put them out so that she can have that catalog. Now she went and got her catalog. So now she owns it. So she owns all of her masters now. Everything. Meanwhile, black artists. See, TDE still eats off of Kendrick Lamar's original works. All the way up to the Damn album. So Mr. Morale, GNX, all of that has nothing to do with TDE. Now, there's some TDE artists owning GNX. That's the only way they get some money. And it's one of the first albums of its kind, where PG Lang is the label, but they have a licensing deal with Interscope. You see, they're licensing. They went and got that done through Interscope. So they're not an Interscope artist. They only have a licensing deal with Interscope and Jimmy Iovine, which means they get a small percentage, and about 80% of that revenue goes to PG Lang for the album. So that means Kendrick Lamar is going to make somewhere in between $40 million off the actual sale of the music. Something the artists don't do. People laughed when I said Kendrick Lamar was going to make over $200 million on this tour, with all shorter dates. Why Drake He got to do damn near 100 shows. He going to be touring for the next 2-3 years. Just so he can make back money. Oh, why didn't Drake do the deal? Drake was going to sign with Tidal. That was already there. But this is what pissed Jay-Z off. And it was a smart deal by Drake. You see, that's how Nicki and them got involved. Lil Wayne, Nicki, and Drake all was supposed to do this deal. Nicki went through with it. At the last minute, Wayne pulled out. And then Drake used that, like he was finna sign with Tidal and do this deal with Jay-Z. And he used it as leverage so he can sign an exclusive deal with Apple. After promising to do it. And right at the last minute, he got a multi-million-dollar deal with Apple Music. That didn't put him in good graces with Jay. Like I said, there's a lot of things you didn't know. It's weird because today I spent 2 hours looking at my old videos, on my old PC, all my day ones, all my boxing videos on my old PC because I was looking for something. And I said, man, this old PC is like where it all started, like where it really began. Like when we started to take off and do YouTube. I got my very first video on there from YouTube back from 2005. But then I had some stuff that's actually missing. That I'm looking for. I'm really searching for it. Trying to find it. Now, everyone who assumes they know something usually don't know anything. You see, when you get a record deal, it's mostly done in what they call a tranche. That's a French word to just mean that you don't get all your money up front. It's split. Get it in portions. You'll get what, like a record company, the signing bonus. You get your signing bonus, and basically they release your budget for your album. Now, mostly people use their signing bonus for equipment, producers, and they use it to get the money rolling. Now, the record label has to release what they call an album budget. And based on your previous sales, it puts a certain budget on how much money you're supposed to have to record with. The College Dropout was done exclusively by Kanye West and their team. The majority of the album was completed almost without any album budget. Kanye West made these songs here in the studio, mostly in Chicago. Ludacris gave him time in the studio when he had extra time. Other people let him come in, use the studio, and do what he got to do real quick. That helped him out on his first album. Because that's what you do back in those days. Artists used to help each other. And they kept waiting for Roc-A-Fella to release the album budget. Why they couldn't get their money? Kanye West damn near spent all his own money out of his own pocket to completely finish the College Dropout. That's how much they didn't believe in Kanye West. But there he is, standing next to the guy that never believed in him, who just wanted him to make the beats. Jay-Z, saying, let's do this Tidal deal. And he's believing in Hov, even though Hov have never been the businessman. Never been the businessman that Dame was and everyone else. Dame is the better businessman than Jay because he's a visionary. Jay has no vision. Jay knows how to play the role and stand next to those guys. And they look for guys like that so they could put them in the right place and position. Jay is pretty much a manipulator. Manipulating the situation for his advantage and only his advantage. You don't matter to him. Kanye was never his friend. He had to show him that over and over again. Even though Kanye made him $1 billion, brought him back from the dead. Then the Tidal deal screwed up the Life of Pablo album release. All of it. But he couldn't do that with Beyonce. Because he had no control over that. Beyonce signed to a whole nother record company that's not attached to Jay-Z. He's managing Beyonce. And even though she's on Tidal, he can't tell that other record company what to do or make it exclusive. Beyonce's only going to be exclusive on Tidal. He can't do that. But Kanye music, they could. And when they held Kanye music hostage, and to make up for it, Kanye's going on this tour, and he's freaking out. Messing up show dates, the whole nine. He's frustrated. Then Kim gets robbed. In the middle of the Pablo tour. Okay, I'm going. It changed everything. He's made another Hov. But why would he want to make another Jay-Z? He made another $100 million business. He made multiple $100 million businesses. What $100 million business did Jay-Z make? Dame Dash started Roc-A-Wear. See, Dame's a good businessman, visionary. It's all the other rooms. Jay destroys himself. I mean, Dame destroys himself. His ego destroys all his good works. Dame was a visionary. He's the first one to get into the liquor brands. He was the first one using the music as a marketing tool to open up doors for endorsement deals for rappers. That was normally for athletes. And instead of rocking everybody else's clothes, we're gonna rock our own brand and promote ourselves. That wasn't done before at that level. Everybody was rocking Dapper Dan and everybody else's outfits. They said, hey, we're gonna promote our own, build our own outfits. And we'll go from there. So Nicki Minaj, I understand her frustration, but you could try to audit the deal, but the deal is done. Once you've accepted the $1 million, you can't go back and say you owe me money. If you took the $1 million, that deal is done. It's solidified. You had to sign. And you waive all rights to contest. That's probably why there isn't a lawsuit. You could say that on social media, but you're not getting that money. Sorry to say that to you, but you're not. You don't even own your catalog. So your bargaining position is very low. Every company Jay-Z has started, y'all don't remember, Jay-Z has failed at so many companies. So many. Ace of Spades, Champagne, that's not Jay-Z's. That's Jay's company now. Somebody else started Ace of Spades. Jay-Z came and got involved in it. Someone has to put Jay in this position. Jay-Z had his own nasty ass cologne, which Jay didn't like the way it was presented and just thrown in the store, just like anything, then backed out of the deal. Had to fight that in court. And the people that owned Jay-Z, they made it go away. Because Jay walked away from the deal. And they put it in stores anyway. Jay-Z had a record company before he stole Roc-A-Fella and made it Roc Nation. He had Sean Carter Records. It was like Sean Corey Carter Records. Tata was running it. So he tried to start his little record label outside of Roc-A-Fella Records. And that thing was dead on arrival. Jay was gonna try to sneak and go over there once the label got hot. Dame saw it and was like, oh no, that's, and Jay was like, no, that's Tata. Tata want to be in the record business. So, I let him. He's like, why it ain't Tata Records? Why is it Sean Corey Carter Records? Why has it got your name? Because what Jay wanted it was that to get big, so he'll leave Roc-A-Fella, take his little portion of his money, and roll on over there and bring the artist over there. The Sean Corey Carter record. But it flopped. Because he didn't know what he was doing. Jay-Z was president of Def Jam and never made any decisions at Def Jam. Not one. L.A. Reid was president, but they put him as vice president. Telling you, boy, you gotta be careful. You need a gun. White people just let their dogs outside. I turned around quick. I don't even have no time to play. Of course, his name is Jay-Z. Let that Sean Carter to Jay-Z? Damn you on Jazz. His name is spelled just like Jazz-O, his mentor. He trying to steal everything from Jazz. That he stole the name Jay-Z. J-Z. Like Jazz-O. You were the son of Jazz-O. No, DMX met with L.A. Reid. X thought Jay was, he believed what the headlines was. Jay-Z's in charge. Jay ain't gonna tell X, I'm not in charge. But those deals was L.A. Reid's. X didn't like L.A. Reid because he had some daggone open-toe sandals. That did it. Oh no, we in trouble, dog. Oh no, we in trouble. Soon as he saw L.A. Reid come down there and meet him, L.A. Reid was excited. He saw him with this doggone outfit on with his toes out and some flip-flops in the office. He said, oh no, we in trouble, dog. I'm telling you, he gonna have us singing like Boys to Men. He came from the face, dog. So, the avenues haven't changed. much as everybody would like for it to change, it didn't change. Everyone pretty much sequentially made adjustments to the new defining standards of what should and what shouldn't be the standards in the industry. Right? I don't know who made those rules up. But all the budget moves were made by L.A. Reid. And when Jay-Z came back to rap, he gave up the presidency, spent about $20 million in marketing for that Kingdom Come album, spent all that big budget money going to Monte Carlo, putting Danica Kirkpatrick and Dale Earnhardt in his music video, and screwed up the whole thing. And everybody had moved on from Jay. It was about Dipset. They had everybody else. Jay was the old head who was still doing the same type of raps. With his worst album to date, Kingdom Come. He was doing his corporate takeover rap, bragging about rich Jewish record owner executive. The Dog Morris is, I'm hanging out with all of them. It's like, okay. He wanted to be where Doug Morris is. Are you where Doug Morris is, Jay? What is it that you actually own, Jay? I don't hate Jay. I was the first one to ever promote Jay, play Jay, anything with Jay in this city. Everybody was Tupac crazy. See, I go all the way back to Freeze Records, and I can't get with that. And the real in my lifetime. I was spending the wages down in Vegas, shaking the dice like Vinny Barbarino. Welcome back, the original player of the Mac. Soon as bitches see me, they don't know how to act is like that, jigger. Never waste my time on malt liquor, only taking shots of Cristal. Yeah, take a Swicker. So I ain't stressed to make no CD. I took it slow. 50% of dudes and deals can't see me with the dough. I was pushing those raps in the city. People wouldn't even listen to Jay-Z. It was Tupac, and more Tupac. Then Pac died. Then it was FJZ. The Machiavelli tape started coming out. And it was, hey, FJZ. So he still wasn't getting no play. I was pumping Reasonable Doubt, telling them which songs to play and what was hot and what wasn't. Because it was all hot, but I had to get them to listen because they were stuck in their pocket phase. So the reason that they wouldn't even push Jay-Z CD like that here in the shop was in the mom and pop shops out here, everybody take my pick on what I like. They listen to what I'm rocking. They go, hey, this dude be knowing what he talking about when it comes to this hip hop. I want to hear what he got to say. So I go into the record store with the mom and pops. And he's like, "Yo, you heard this new artist, Jay-Z?" He's like, "We just got that in." I was like, "He dope. That's what you need to push." So chilling on there with him and Biggie. Biggie on there? I'm like, yeah, Biggie on there. Should check that one out. And then Dead Presidents. Remember the song Dead Presidents? Yeah, I heard that. That was nice. He got more stuff like that. It's way, way better. You gotta listen to it. So they got their demo. They played the demo. Said it's hot. They start pushing it to the customers. I was the one doing this in the record stores out here. Tony Sports, Mr. Wax. They started getting the vinyls. They sold out and had to order more because they didn't have that many of Jay-Z. They ain't know nothing about him. And Roc-A-Fella was independent, basically. There was no Def Jam. So they didn't even have a deal with Def Jam when they did that song. Now they didn't have no distribution. Jay-Z couldn't get a deal. So if there was the first fan in the city of Chicago to ever even know who Jay-Z was me. Because Jay-Z did not blow up in this city at all. And it wasn't until Life After Death he didn't even blow up. Biggie had him on the Life After Death. He didn't blow up then either. Then Jermaine Dupri put him on his album with Money Ain't a Thing. And everybody liked that. And they was, who is this Jay-Z dude? And then came right after that. And now they was like, oh, that's the dude that's on Jay-Z album. The one he called Iceberg Slim. People didn't even know him like that. Then Volume 1 come out. Produced by Diddy. I like the album. A lot of people didn't. They didn't because the lead song, Sunshine, is just awful. I don't even listen to that song. So, right when that album is, sales is dropping, they first release on Def Jam, and they shit in the bed. And I remember they was telling the story. Russell Simmons was like telling Lear Cohen, I thought they said this guy was the new Biggie Smalls. Ain't he Biggie homeboy? And then New York said he was the one. Right? They were putting him over Nas. He was like, man, I'm telling you, man, you do a song with Puffy and you still can't produce a #1 hit. So Russ told Leo, this on you. You taking the fall for this. It's your project. So they went and did The Streets Is Watching. They did their own independent movie, all based on Dame Dash wanting to get into the movie scene. Sauce Money got a record deal right after that. He went with Un gave him that big money after Volume 1, and he left Roc-A-Fella. And everybody's like, he's stupid, because then after Volume 2, Roc-A-Fella blow up. But at the time, shoot, wasn't no money in Roc-A-Fella. So it was the right thing to do. Take the bag. Well, she wanted Roc Nation to represent her in management once her and Meek Mill broke up. And they chose basically Meek over her in that situation. When she was always the bigger star. Like Meek was building up his credibility being with her. But her main problem isn't Jay-Z. She pissed off Beyonce. And when you pissed off Beyonce, buddy boy, you gonna realize there's two sides. When B get mad, y'all gonna understand. She let that stuff, fame, get to her head. She ain't the same Beyonce she was when she was 19, 20. She know her power and she ain't afraid to wield it. Ask Carrie Hilson. It's a lot of girls on the sideline that can't get no record deals, nothing. They open their mouth about Beyonce, and they are out the business. Khalees had a #1 song, and she was out the game. She was out the game as her #1 song was spinning. Cause I'm bossy, I'm the first one to jump on the track. Her song is #1 on the radio, and they pulled the plug. She did Blindfold You with Nas, and that was it. They were through with her. She opened her mouth and said, Beyonce stole from me. Oh, I did? Pull the plug. Her whole career gone. Just like that. Record company was like, we gonna let you go. What? Yeah. She couldn't get signed nowhere. So when Beyonce came out and Pharrell made this beat, and it was the milkshake with Beyonce on it, you saw Khalees go through a thing, didn't she? She put out that, this is Pharrell. He been doing this for me forever. He do this to mess with me. Because that's her ex before Nas. And he been making money off milkshake, all that stuff. He was getting paid off her. So he owns milkshake, actually. So when she complained about Beyonce having it, but Beyonce was like, pull that down. I don't even want to hear her mouth. Take the song down. I don't need it. I don't want to hear her mouth. Pull it down. I don't need the record. Sorry for real. But yeah, I don't want nothing to do with that girl. So I'm telling you, you mess with Beyonce. So I'm saying, y'all got to start listening to these videos. Now, if you go to the Patreon, you're going to see all the people that's behind the scenes that have been doing all the stuff they've been talking about. They ain't said a word about. And they worried about Diddy. For a Mann Act. A Mann Act for consensual sex. That still gets me. Yeah, Streets is Watching is what got the streets involved. We all had the Streets is Watching DVD and the CD. Once I started showing people that, and everybody thought Jay-Z was folks. He threw up the Gangster Disciple sign in the video, and they were, I told you Jay-Z folks! And everybody was losing their mind in Chicago. So it was the Streets is Watching. That took them to Jay-Z the hustler. He went from the pimp to the hustler drug dealer. Because Biggie was trying to have him Iceberg Slim, the pimp. Then he did the Money Ain't a Thing. He started doing the Who You With. So they was looking at Jay-Z like the pimp. So that's how he was looked at. So the streets wasn't really rocking with him. He's a pimp rapper. Then he started coming out with Streets is Watching. He got on the bulletproof vest, chains. They robbing drug dealers in hotels. And they got videos just playing out like it's a movie. Then it started to make sense. No, it's a little different. No, Jay-Z started to no, everything he's done is there's other people behind it. Like smarter people who are this was their brain trust. Jay is who they're using to push it. Now, now he sold 33% of his stake in Tidal to Sprint, and he got $200 million for the deal. Now, Tidal has access to telecom. Right. Now they have 45 million customers. Well, Tidal was in need of a revamp. It had what, 1 million subscribers? You know, Apple Music had 20, Spotify had like 43 million subscribers. I mean, they had all these guys together. Kanye, Madonna, Nicki Minaj, they was whoever that guy is, looked like Adam Lambert and all these. They had white artists. They were all coming together, and they was all finna sign and be a partner to this deal. So now look, you got Usher, Rihanna, Madonna, Nicki Minaj. Now, who you think made a lot of money here out of this title group that you see on this stage? Usher, eh. Rihanna, she got her $1 billion outside of music. Nicki Minaj still got to work. Madonna owns her own catalog and other artists. So Madonna is gonna make all the goddamn money. So Chris Martin, Beyonce, Kanye, Daft Punk, they all had equity in the company. This was supposed to change music. Yep, Jay-Z was in there. So everybody pooled their money together and then they put up 56 million and bought Tidal in 2015. And 6 years later, he's selling it. And he sold out all his friends in the process. Jay Z, what did he do when he got Roc-A-Fella? He sold Roc-A-Fella immediately for 100 some million, 130 some million in cash. When I sold Roc-A-Fella, I said, "Give me money cash. Checks might bounce. Alphabet boys might search my account." He sold it. Roc-A-Fella wasn't even his idea; it was Dame's. Couldn't come up with nothing of his own, so he had to steal that from Dame. Roc-A-Fella. That was Dame Dash. Dame Dash was Roc-A-Fella. Jay did not name Roc-A-Fella. He named that company Roc-A-Fella. Dame got bought out. So that's what Jay-Z does. He gets a company and he buys it out. Sold it for $297 million. And I told y'all about it. For life. Told y'all 4 years ago, Jay-Z sells the majority stake of his company for 297 million. Look at him. Look at the boy Cena.
All right. Championship swag is still on deck.
Man, that's the old crib.
Yes. Your boy Carcino is still in charge.
This is right before I bought this place.
Now,
I mean, right before.
moving right along.
I think I'm in the process of buying this place. Yeah.
Want to say
Because I went to the Super Bowl
to the sleepyheads,
and I was in the process of buying this place.
this head here,
That's crazy.
it's always up. It's always working. Even when I'm like this, it's working. Now, in case you don't know what's been happening and evolving in the business world, we're going to talk some business here. I was going to do this on One Crack News, but I said, why not give it to him here? Just because, it's early in the morning. Why not? Now, Jay-Z did exactly what I told you he was going to do.
Yep. Sell that company. That's exactly right, Cino. You told him.
Did Jay do exactly what I said he was going to do?
Yep, he did it. He sold Tidal.
I had told he said Jay sold the cash app. It's not that at all. I told you when Jay started Tidal, and I told my boy too, he's another one. He wanted to get Tidal, wanted to support and believe the Jay-Z message of, this is about blacks, and we gotta control our portion of the business. You gotta stop following trends and celebrities and thinking celebrities got the answers. They don't. I told you, this is business. And with Jay, as much slack as they give Master P for business moves and practices, y'all let Jay get away with leading y'all down the primrose path. Consistently. He has done this.
And that's facts. He has continued to do this. So, Nicki Minaj talked about.
It's not every.
Oh, he cashed out. Of course he cashed out. You're not getting anything, Nicki. You don't own your masters. Now, his streaming model for Tidal was the problem. He didn't understand how hard it is to succeed when you're jumping in a game where you're going to have all of these detractors. You pissed Rihanna off, and she hasn't made another album since. Y'all keep trying to get her to make another album, and she don't want to because she don't have to. See, Jay-Z gives y'all the illusion that he's a genius, right? But see, he goes on these white people platforms that brothers don't hear or see. And when you hear Jay-Z talk, I'm gonna let you listen to what Jay-Z really sound like. You know how he tries to sound very intelligent, smart. No, he's just a guy from Marcy Projects, sitting down with the executives who really make the decisions.
Wines and Spirits Arms of
Listen.
LVMH. Gentlemen, welcome to both of you this morning. It's really great to see you on the news of this deal. Jay-Z, I was hoping we could start with you. Good morning both of you. Jay-Z, I was hoping we could start with you because I know that you are incredibly particular about how you do things. You talked about this with Tidal. You don't do things the easy way. You do things the way you think are going to have the best results. So why Moet?
They just aligned in our thinking and thoughts and, the way they care about products and creating products. When we built our mind from the ground up, we wanted to do things right. Integrity of it had to be right. The soil, of course, it had to be in Champagne because it can't be called Champagne unless it's from the region. When we build luxury products, whether it be from Roc Nation to Monogram to whatever we build in luxury products, and Moet Hennessy goes about it the same way. So we were aligned in our thoughts of integrity and passion for the things that we build. And when I met, it started with Alexander. We had conversations, and then Bernardo, they came to my house to have lunch in Los Angeles, my Los Angeles home, and maybe October of 2019. And, those conversations, escalated pretty quickly. I see these guys were men of their words. They say they're going to call you Thursday, it's Thursday. It just started out in a place of respect, and it built from there. It built pretty quickly.
That's Jay-Z. That's what Hov sounds like. That's what he really sounds like. Now, that's not the Jay that y'all see and hear all the time, because it's controlled. That's what he sounds like live when he don't have the answers to the question. Because he's not the one making the decisions. Jay doesn't owe Nicki Minaj money. She believes he does, because she felt she was supposed to get more in an equity deal, but you don't understand that you have partners. You're signed there, but you don't own your masters. So they have to be on, and when you go over there and sign, you're taking Universal, you're taking Young Money, you taking Cash Money, you sign the 3-4 record labels. So they gonna get they cut before you get a dime. And you don't own as much stock in the company as Jay. And plus, you probably didn't read your equity piece. Your equity piece depends on if they turn new partners or their new structurings of the deal. Your numbers could have gotten smaller. Plus, 4 years ago, Nicki Minaj was paid out $1 million. She took the money. Once you signed that paper and took that $1 million check, you can't go back and say, oh, I'm suing because you owe me more money. You took the money. The only way you could sue if the company did some illegal practices and deceived you out of your money. Drake got more money than Jay. I doubt it. Drake is not. That's why Drake, if Drake had that kind of money, you're not doing 71 shows. You're not out here trying to do 70 something tour concerts and days. That's why I told you Drake gonna have to tour for about 2-3 years. That's the only way he gonna get money. Because here's the thing, his new records aren't selling, and he can't fill up stadiums. That's why they didn't give him a stadium tour. Now I told you his new song was gonna debut in the top 10 new songs, and it's gonna die out, and it's gonna fall right out of the charts. Everything I told you about Drake has happened. I told you that some sorry ass songs was gonna fall out, and it did. Mm-hmm. You can't even see the face off video. Yeah. Streets is watching movie. Let me see. I got that. Yeah, it's all his songs that was on Volume One. Um, they were in Streets is Watching movie. Classic. Nothing but naked women in there. That's why YouTube don't want to show it. Yeah, this is the video right here. The Gangster Disciples love this video. Them in like the strip club with the hoes. Yeah, you can't find it on YouTube. They took it down. So I know where to find it on YouTube. This goes out to my Brooklyn crew. Oh, Nicki ain't getting it down. So she just talking. Oh yeah, Ocknell was in the video. I forgot he was there. Mm-hmm. Everybody. Well, the gangster disciples thought Jay-Z was throwing up. They thought he was throwing the rakes up. They was, yeah, look at him, boy. I told you he throwing the rakes up. Look at him. Jay-Z throwing the rakes up. Jay-Z folks. And from this point on, Jay-Z was folks. I'm like, I don't think that's what he's doing. But that's all the street dudes in the Chi needed to see. Now you can't tell them nothing. Jay-Z folks. That's it. These folks. It's not what he was doing in this video at all, but they saw this video. You got naked girls. Jay-Z. Jay-Z and Dame. Look, Dame can't even hold a gun right. Here you can tell Dame ain't never held a gun in his life, ain't did nothing. Look at Dame. He don't even know what he doing. He can't even hold a damn gun right. Look, Jay holding the gun like I didn't pop my own brother. Now you know that's something when you shoot your own brother. Cause you jealous over a chain.
Question.
Oh yeah, because now you had your image to go with the lyrics. Jay-Z was a story rapper, so the videos went with the song. You know, he was the like what they before he called himself the cocaine rapper. Jay-Z was known as the conversational rapper. He was rapping like he was having a conversation with you. But then they turned it to the cocaine rapper. We ballers up in here. Man, I think that's his cousin. You can't have a token in a Rolex. You just can't. Like, he was the same dude that was in State Property. I mean, Paper Soldiers. He was hilarious in that. Oh, Outlaw, I saw them welcome Mike Brown in. That was the funniest thing ever. I might have to do a video just on that. The Mike Brown hire was hilarious. Look at this. History. Boy, getting all these CDs, boy, that used to mean something. It's crazy. All the rap artists I met, the Pillage. Capadonna, the Pillage, met Capadonna. This nigga stole my Capadonna CD. I'm still mad about that. Long live the great Capadonna, Capadonna. They made so much money off 50 Cent. Who remember they put out the 50 Cent New Breed DVD and extra songs? That one don't get rich. They were doubling down. This thing sold millions too. Extra money. And yep, I bought it too. And here it is, buddy. One of the first copies ever sold. The original. Hit 'em up. When Hit 'em Up was on here, buddy, I went to KKC and was the first to have it. I did not play around, sir. When Eminem made Stan, I already knew where he got it from. Because I had Dido's album. So when Dido made Thank You, which he basically took the whole song from Dido, Thank You, and has Dido on the hook, because Eminem can't do hooks. So her hook is the song. My tea's gone cold, I'm wondering why. And I can't see it all. Only fingers on my window. And I can't see it all. Even if I could, it would all be great. Put your picture on my wall. It reminds me that it's not so bad. It's not so bad. And I like to thank you for giving me the best day of my life. Yeah, so as you can see, I was ahead of the time. Head of the curve. Whole nine. Now. Oh yeah, the Craig Mack Flavor in Your Ear remix. This is probably one of the last CDs I bought before I went streaming, and then I just bought the LL Cool J album. This is one of the last ones before I went digital. One of the last physical copies. Jada Kiss, top 5. Dead or alive. D12, it on you out. Our energy. Dear Mama, the EP. Before Me Against the World came out, this came out. That had Old School on it. Dear Mama, Bury Me a G from Thug Life. See, Bury Me a G was supposed to be on this album, but it was on Thug Life. And they put Bury Me a G on here. Yeah, it was on the Dear Mama soundtrack, Bury Me a G. There's multiple versions. Oh, it's very interesting. My volume 1. We were just talking about that. That's my straight out of Compton. Ooh, Mr. Scarface. That turned the world upside down. That's crazy. You know I got Thug Life. Come on. Oh my God, Junior Mafia. Ooh, it was written. D12. The Big Papa. Wow. One of my get riches or die trying. Papa. Shaheem. Greatest story ever told. That Eric Sermon? No pressure. Oh my goodness. No pressure. Eric Sermon. Man. If that wasn't a great CD, I don't know what is. Capadonna, the yin and the yang. Oh, the OG classic. All eyes on me. Oh man, y'all got me going through memory lane. Ooh, the double CD, Street's Disciple. Nah. Ooh, that's crazy. My Prince. Mobb Deep. Oh, this is the Sisters in Christ. The Christian singers. I read it to them. Yeah, Sisters in Christ. Criss Cross last album. Young, Rich, and Dangerous. That was my song. OG classic. America's Nightmare. Boy, this wasn't a classic album cover. Classic album. Spiggity Spice 1. Professional 2. Yeah, that started a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, you knew it was getting ready to blow. No, my volume 3. I'm back looking like me. Stop your presses. Woo! What this album did, what I went through with this album here, boy. Cuban Links. That was it, bro. And this DMX album, man, we went through the wood with that one. And of course, you know this. Kanye's best album, Graduation. Red Man, there's the dark side. The Red album. MC Ren. Big pun. Capital punishment. The Punisher. Remember, look at the 88 Diamonds. The 88 Diamonds. The 88 Diamonds. D12. They wouldn't let Eminem appear on the cover. Little something you need to ask yourself, why not? One of the most creative rap CDs ever made. I swear to God, every song is different. Proof. Eminem. Slim Shady. Everybody had an alter ego. Bizarre is Peter S. Bizarre. Mr. Denied Porter. The con artist. Swifty McVeigh. The Canava. Rondale B. And that made up T12. Ooh, Iron Man. Then the original red tape. Illegal. Yeah. Malik and Jamal. And there it is. Told you. In My Lifetime by Jay-Z. So I was up on Jay-Z back in 1994, 95. Boom. This is what Jay was like when he was no Jay-Z. Nobody was checking for him. Nothing. So I'm day one Jay-Z. Well, I can't get with that. All that on Freeze Records. So anybody talking about I hate Jay and all that, y'all have no idea. I have the right to say I hate Jay if I do. Black Sheep. You can get with this. So you can get with that. You can get with this. But y'all don't realize that whole CD is awesome. The original OG version. No 20th anniversary and all of that. It's the original. What it looked like if you just went in the store and copped it. It was real plain, but looked at and heralded as the best CD ever made. And there it is. This is when it first came out. This is original on Freeze Records. And how you know it's the original? Because you know they re-released it. And the re-release do not have the 45 on the CD. It's the original. One of the first off the presses, baby. Priority Freeze Records. So, Zeno was day one. And of course, my timers. I got that work. And the OG Machiavelli. Ooh, the infamous. Gotta have that. LL Cool J, the GOAT. The actual GOAT LP. And Roy Jones, rap CD, round one, signed by Roy Jones himself. When he was undisputed. Y'all must have forgot. One of the greatest rap albums ever made. Ice Cube, Death Certificate. Cocktail. Tube Show. I'm ready to die. So as you can see, I am engulfed in this. It's just me against the world. I'm telling you, boy, I lived it. I have lived it. College Dropout, 8 Mile, the Wu-Tang Swarm CD. Ooh, boy, if you ain't got the Killer, the Swarm, the Killer Bees, Even got my WCW. Man, I'll be here all night if I'm gonna do this. So I'm gonna get out of here. Yeah, it's endless, man. We'll be here all night. But RZA, Bobby Digital. We still never saw the movie. Street's Disciple. That's very different. I'm like, where's my other stuff at? See, this is how you have all the songs for they come out, the mixtapes. Look, Drama King 3. You got the Jay-Z and Nas diss records. We had them all. The Drama King 3. Man, that's crazy. My mixtapes in the house. Oh, I ain't mean to break my shit. God damn. That's my Curtis. Damn, it broke my Curtis. Ain't break my Curtis now. Right next to my Before I Self-Destruct. Get in where you fit in. Shout dog. Red Man. Of course I got Wu-Tang Forever. Who wouldn't have Wu-Tang Forever? I do still got this. It must be the other one I got rid of. That LL Cool J 10. I did not like this album at all. That or Todd one. Now, yeah, I'm out. Nice hanging out with y'all, man. We had a blast.